Hello and welcome to another presentation of WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan hockey. I'm Alex Drain, joined tonight by Andy Laidlaw. We'll have Ryan Krause and Jack Manica later on in the broadcast for this matchup between Michigan and Michigan State. It's the big rivalry weekend in football and in hockey as well. It's a home-and-home weekend tonight being played at Michigan's home here at Yost Ice Arena against the Spartans. They will be in East Lansing at Munn on Saturday night for the second part of this weekend matchup. Both teams come in under 500, so a lot to prove tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what sport it is, Alex. It doesn't matter if it's football or basketball or baseball, hockey, ping pong. We could be playing Madden or FIFA. It doesn't matter. If it's Michigan versus Michigan State, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a war. These two schools do not like each other. Trust me, as a Lansing native, I know this. I know many people who all week, probably because of the football game, but for other reasons, they walk by each other. They don't say hello. They don't say go State. They say F Michigan. They are not a fan of this Michigan hockey team or basketball team. They're not a fan of the University of Michigan. No matter what sport, no matter what is happening, Michigan versus Michigan State is always going to be a war. It's always going to be fun, and expect that here tonight at Yost Arena.
Well, Michigan comes in on a bit of a losing streak after losing that final game of the weekend series last week against Minnesota. They tied one game, officially lost it in double OT, which counts for only Big Ten standings, then lost in regulation the second night of that after being swept by Ohio State. So it's been a bit of a skid for the Wolverines and trying to snap that here tonight. The opening draw is won by the Spartans, and immediately dumping it down towards the area of Strauss-Mann, the Michigan netminder. He started every game this season, including tonight, and Michigan rolls with the fourth line out there to begin the game with Garrett Van Wyn, Nolan Moyle, and Dakota Raby, as well as Luke Martin and Cam York, the top defense pairing out there. Michigan State starting with their top line and top defensive pairing. Moyle throws it in front, and a quick try gets pushed aside by John Letherman, who is the Michigan State netminder tonight. And that's a little different than last season when Drew DeRitter started every game for the Spartans against Michigan, as a couple shots go high and wide of man, then it comes back out to the neutral zone. 19:15 to go in the first period, no score. There's a giveaway by the Spartans. Michigan had a shot at it for a second, then Slaker lost it, taken away by the Spartans. Now corralled back at center by Griffin Luce, who sends it the length of the ice towards Letherman, who comes out behind his own net to play it over to his defenseman behind the net, then taken away back by MSU after a bit of a scrum ensued. Pinching in at the top is Nick Blankenberg, and both teams dig away at it and then flipped up into the neutral zone back into Michigan's end. Griffin Luce to grab it. Michigan State will get a change as Luce sends it the length off a tip by Lambert, so no icing, and Michigan will get a change as well. 90 seconds into the game.
Yeah, a lot of pressure by Michigan in the MSU zone, working on the forecheck, trying to get the puck back.
Michigan State sets it up. Long stretch pass in. High pop-up into the air off a tip, and playing center fielder Strauss-Mann comes out to grab it with the glove for a whistle. That's our first whistle of the game, and the face-off will come to the side of man in the Michigan end.
Yeah, nothing big here so far here for the Wolverines. Not a lot of puck control. We haven't had many opportunities in the Michigan State zone, but again, like I said, the forecheck is coming out strong tonight, hopefully keeping that puck in Michigan State zone.
Now Johnny Beecher goes out there, the talented freshman first-round draft pick of the Boston Bruins, and he does what he does so well, which is win draws. Came into tonight with a 56.3% face-off win percentage. That's the best on the team. He wins it there and starts a rush the other direction. That one came close in by the post as it was just a dump. Beecher playing out there tonight with Emil Orval as well as Jack Becker. Becker is tied for the team lead in goals with 3. Beecher tied for the team lead in points with 5. Orval has been a bit in and out of the lineup so far this season as Michigan State has a stretch pass get tipped off a stick and into the netting past man, so the faceoff will come back into the neutral zone.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Wolverines play today without Will Lockwood, their captain. You know, it seemed like he had a bad head injury against Minnesota, and again, I believe it's the first night that he's not dressed for the Wolverines, so it's going to be curious. I'm going to be curious to see how the Wolverines can react on the offensive end without him.
Well, Michigan's dealt with some injuries. They finally got Jake Slaker back, and now to lose Will Lockwood, it's another tough blow, that top line, Lambert, Slaker, and Hayhurst tonight without Lockwood. As Michigan State plays it deep, man comes out to hand it off behind his net to Luke Martin. Now played up to, or past Garrett Van Wyn, taken away by the Spartans. They still have no shots. Michigan 2-0 in the shots early going, 17.5 to go in the first period. Picked up in the corner there by Cam York and then played over to the net. Strauss-Mann puts the trapper down, not really a shot. Another whistle comes in the Michigan end.
Again, Cam York, another guy, 5-star out of California, out of high
Yep.
school, is a guy who is Michigan's obviously going to have to rely on a lot, and they've relied on him so far this season. He's one of the actually highest point totals guys on Michigan hockey. So a really, really great defensive forward, and obviously he's a playmaker for this Wolverine team.
Van Wy back out there to do the draw against Kodorenko, and Kodorenko with that top line wins the draw back. Lewandowski takes a shot, deflected up over the netting. That goes off a Michigan stick, so face-off stays in the Michigan defensive end. That top line for MSU, Lewandowski, Kodorenko, and Stevens, pretty much the same top line as a year ago, but without Taro Hirose, who was their excellent winger. He, after the season, signed with the Detroit Red Wings and is playing in the NHL. He was a big part of that, but Lewandowski and Kodorenko have continued to produce even without Hirose this season, slotting in Stevens there instead. Michigan wins the draw, but still can't quite get it out of their own zone. Martin tries to play it up the boards, but a nice pinch in there along the side and held in by Jared Rosberg. Sent deep. Cam York has it, protecting the puck behind his own net, plays it over to Martin. To Moyle, who can't quite get it out of the zone, continuing to whack at it, and that one,
there it is.
Yep, barely got out and finally back down all the way to retrieve it. MSU will do so without much pressure other than just Nolan Moyle, as he allows his fourth line to get off the ice as they cycled the top line on. Blankenberg and company on for the defensive pairing, as well as now it comes up the other direction. Rosberg had it taken away. Blankenberg leads the rush the other direction. He's got men 3-on-2, potentially lays it for Hayhurst. He takes a shot, goes wide of Lethleman. Now picked up by the Spartans and flipped back down the ice, banked off the boards in the neutral zone. Played over to Lambert, that top line out there. Over to Slaker, one of the alternate captains this season for Michigan, and he sends it deep. MSU retrieves it. Krieger's there without much trouble, but now dug out. Keaton Pearson is able to take it away just in the neutral zone and throws it into the Spartan end. 4 minutes gone in this first period. Still no score between Michigan and Michigan State. Shots 2-1 in favor of Michigan. There's a shot from a bad angle. Now a loose puck right in front. Hayhurst whiffed on it. A bouncing puck, unable to get it in on net. And Jagger Joshua sends it out the other direction. Long stretch pass to Slaker and Lambert as Michigan leads the counterattack the other direction. Onto the ice is Beecher. He flipped it to the middle. Keaton Pearson couldn't pick it up. And now the net is conveniently dislodged. And it looks like there was some contact down there.
Yeah.
Slaker ran into some bodies. So
yeah, like we were talking about earlier. I mean, Michigan's leading the shot total is 2-1 right now, but never been really high percentage shots at all. Just a couple shots from the point, kind of going towards the net, and there hasn't been much puck control for the Wolverines in MSU zone. Most of the time, a lot of that first 5 minutes has been in Michigan zone with MSU holding the puck. So again, a lot still has to happen for the Wolverines. Got to add a little more pressure and hopefully get a couple shots on net that actually could provide a goal for the Wolverines.
15:42 to go in the first period. Still real no high percentage looks on either end. Maybe the closest to that was the bouncing puck that Hayhurst was unable to whack at successfully. A long stretch shot, sort of. I mean, came in on Lethleman. He didn't really know what to do with it. Thought for a second and then put it back down as Michigan now trying to pressure. Had a puck go through the crease briefly and now chipped back down by the Spartans the other way. Logan Lambden chasing after Jack Summers, who leaves it behind to Pearson over to the middle. And now a bad giveaway by Becker, and a shot goes high and over top of the net. Josh Nodler out there with Sam Saliba to form the Michigan State second line. Now dumping it back down for Lambden, picked up there by Saliba to the point, redirected around, now picked up by Becker, and out the other direction they come. Emil Orval on the forecheck this time. He takes it away and just throws it in on net. Finally, we get to see Nick Pastajov for the first time. We've called his name tonight, as well as Eric Ciccolini. Now long clearance, but not enough for icing as it goes back in the Michigan end. York smartly leaves it behind there for Luke Martin, his defense mate, who was pinched up against the boards and then lost it. Mike Pastajov takes it away into the middle, cutting through. Now a loose puck. York just taps it back into the MSU end. Michigan will be offsides. They have to get back on as the Spartans carry it out the other direction. Rosberg sends it deep. Mann has it there, taps it over to Mike Pastajov, as well as Nick. Both trying to bang it free. Now Rosberg picks it up at the point. He takes a shot through traffic that Mann saw at the last minute, and he's able to get that glove on it. Whistle sounds with 14:16 to go in the first period.
Yeah, not like I said earlier, not a lot going on for the Wolverines, but defensive has been really solid. The first line of defensive forwards, with Martin and Cam York have looked really good. Two guys who Michigan clearly rely on. So Wolverines want to keep going. It's going to be Cam and Luke Martin, assistant captain, continuing to provide in the defensive end.
We've got the sort of inner commercial break game going on here with Cam York and
I
Johnny
gotta
Beecher.
say, a really cool moment. About 50 minutes until the game started, somebody turned on the PS4. It was on the big screen right in the middle of the ice, and all of a sudden there's an NHL game going on between two people. I don't know where they were. I don't know who was playing. It wasn't a very good game. I'm not a great NHL player myself, but I think I could have beat both of those guys. Either way, it was kind of cool. I'm just sitting here watching NHL on PS4, getting ready for the Michigan State hockey game. It was cool. It was fun. Actually, I heard a funny stat today. Actually, Olmstead, one of the Michigan Wolverine players who's not dressing today, heard a rumor. He is number 5 in the world on PlayStation and NHL 20 in the world rankings. Apparently, he's an amazing NHL hockey player on the PlayStation. That's pretty cool. I mean, top 5. That's impressive. That's impressive.
That is an achievement for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully, he can bring that skill on the ice for the Wolverines here at Yost.
Non-dressers tonight for Michigan. Lockwood, who we mentioned, then obviously Olmstead, Switzer, Winborg, Gingell, and Granowitz are the scratches. Michigan with that very large roster. A lot of guys that perhaps are, you would think, not on scholarship as it exceeds the NCAA limit. So a handful of walk-ons that they've been rotating through. Granowitz in particular is in the last couple games, but not out there tonight. Michigan wins the draw in their own end and carries it through the other way. Nick Pastajov had a shot go high and over top, and then an attempt to keep it in by Ciccolini did not go well as he got pushed down to the ice. Michigan is able to parry it back into the MSU zone, and Rosberg picks it up the other direction. Brody Stevens lays it deep for Lewandowski, but Luce beats him there. The defenseman wheels around his own net, pass over to the side. Pastajov banks it off to his brother Nick. He's got Ciccolini with him, takes a bad angle shot that goes wide of the net. Might have gotten a piece, did Letherman, and then picked up the other way. Krieger to the middle. There's a shot, comes in on Straussman, and he paddles it aside, pinching deep. Kodorenko there with Krieger. Kodorenko still out there, as is Lewandowski from that top line. Summers couldn't quite get it out. Michigan State continuing to forecheck pretty well. Shots now 5-3 in favor of the Wolverines, approaching 7 minutes gone in the first period. Van Wy had it and taken away, but able to push it back into the neutral zone skillfully there by Keaton Pearson. Pearson playing with Summers. At the moment, that's a pretty young defensive pairing, a freshman and a sophomore. Van Wy cuts in. He takes it hard to the net, and the puck bounces and goes over top. And they say a little too much contact made as the net came off its moorings, and already seeing some pushing and shoving. Moyle having to be separated from Krieger.
Nope, that's Michigan State. Extracurricular is going to happen all weekend long in the series, so we're starting to see it here early. But actually, Wolverines caught a break there. Van Wy, like you said, here at the point on the Michigan's end, kind of had the puck go over stick a little bit, and Michigan State had a chance at the net 3-on-2, and MSU player just lost it. Quick turnaround for the Wolverines as it went on the offensive end, but big break here for the Wolverines. Van Wy, like I said, on defensive point here.
So they'll bring it out of the zone because it was Van Wy who initiated contact with the net and knocked it off. So Michigan will do the draw just in front of the offensive blue line, and again, Beecher is able to win it, but Luke Morgan got skillfully pushed aside, was unable to corral the good work done by his centerman. Jagger Joshua sends it deep right in on man, and he puts the trapper down for a whistle with 12:45 to go. You look at this MSU team, Saliba is the captain this season, Kodorenko an alternate captain, and Rosberg as well. And you compare in terms of rivalry situation, Michigan State, 17 kids from the state of Michigan on the roster. Michigan just 9, but still significant numbers for both. Draw one clean there, and Rosberg took a shot that went wide of the net. Nicholas Muller out there with Tommy Apap and Joshua. There's a bouncing puck, and away is Becker. Can he beat his man there? He cannot, but it's a giveaway. Now a shot for Beecher. Puck comes free. Another try, and another good save by Letherman as Morgan had a rebound. It was led by Becker, then Beecher came through, had a try at it, and then after that, the third effort from Luke Morgan denied by the netminder Letherman.
Man, that puck loose right in front of the Michigan State net off the rebound. Luke Morgan, he fired it right there at the MSU goalie. Great save, keeps this score tied at 0.
You know, I talk about in-state kids. Luke Morgan from Brighton, Michigan, and he's played for 2 different colleges in the state of Michigan. Spent his freshman year at Lake Superior State, then transferred to Michigan. So some of this in-state blood is part of this rivalry, and obviously a lot of the players have played with each other at different points in their careers. Blankenberg sends it across to his defense mate Luce, who had a bad giveaway, but thankfully was able to just have it given right back to him after a Michigan State giveaway. Now sent back into the MSU end, where the Spartans pick it up It's a maze out here tonight at Yost Ice Arena. Michigan wearing their maize uniforms. I think those are their best uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
And Michigan State with the green, a really nice color contrast here tonight with the white ice accenting the colors. Michigan picks it out of their own end, come out the other direction. Blankenberg across center, across the blue line, down that right wing side, leaves it behind for Slaker, takes a shot that gets deflected off a Michigan State stick and all the way back down. Falling down there was Keaton Pearson, but Michigan State just content to change and not make any real forecheck attempt. Pearson picks it up behind his own net, circles with it, fanned on his first pass attempt, and now has it intercepted in the neutral zone, though. Got just enough on it to push it out as Christian Krieger brings it on in, or that might be Cole Krieger. They've got the initials on it. Listed by numbers, that's Cole Krieger, but now it comes out to the point. Yeah, that is Christian there, number 15 at the point. They've got C.O. Krieger and C.H. Krieger on the back of those jerseys as the twins playing with each other. They are both from Novi, Michigan, and constitute two of the three Spartans who were picked in the NHL draft at one point in the starting lineup tonight. MSU tries to dig it out of their own end. Pearson does a good job holding it in, then gets whistled for a hand pass with just under 11 minutes to play in the first period.
Yeah, you were talking about earlier all of the in-state players either gone to here in Michigan, or if it's Spartans in Michigan State. And it's really tough because obviously we know the state of Michigan's pedigree and how many great colleges are in the state. You know, Fair State's really competitive always.
Yep. And
Michigan Tech, Northern Michigan, obviously talk about Lake Superior State, and then Michigan and Michigan State. There's a lot of competition in the state where it's really tough to get these recruits.
Picked out of the face-off that was just outside the Michigan offensive end. Michigan State was able to push it into their own offensive end, but Michigan dug it out in a hurry. Wolverines brought it back the other way. Raby had it taken away, though, and York now dives in after it in his own end. Raby there pushed up well against the boards by Brody Stevens and now sent back the other way. Not far enough for an icing. Michigan will get a change of their own. Off goes the fourth line, and on for the Wolverines comes the third line, but they are doing a lot of mixing with the extra forward dressed. Morgan jumps on some lines depending on the situation. Blankenberg comes through center ice, now hands it to Beecher on the left wing side, tried to center it, looking for Blankenberg. Now they come through, and a shot that came from Orval was blocked. Now laid it down behind the net. That's where Jack Becker likes to have it, and he's got it right now, pinned up against the boards by Kodorenko. Puck came free to loose at the point, right at that Big Ten logo in the middle. Takes a shot, deflected through traffic. Becker bangs away at it. Now flipped up into the air, back out to the point. Blankenberg's got it on the left, banks it off to Beecher on the side, back to Blankenberg. They're trying to get it to the middle, looking for Orval, but unable to find him, and MSU's finally able to chip it out of their own end. Decent sustained pressure there from the Wolverines. Beecher picks it up, brings it in on sides, goes through traffic using that big 6'3" size, but MSU picks it up, and out goes the top line as Lewandowski was the one to send it deep in the own end of Michigan. Spartans have it pinned up against the boards. Keaton Pearson applying good pressure on APAP, but then he hands it off. A quick drive to the net on that side by Joshua is repelled. Nicholas Muller takes it away, though, in the middle. Now puck came free for a second. Now APAP back to Krieger at the point. He takes a shot through traffic. Man sees it well. He holds on. And we have a commercial timeout with 9:04 to go in period one. Still no score between Michigan and Michigan State.
Yeah, it was a good possession by the Wolverines on that. Obviously on that last possession, we saw Luce had that great shot at the point. And we saw Blankenberg try to cut for the net, and actually the pass didn't get to him. But that was probably the best possession of the Wolverines so far. A couple shots on net, a couple legit shots, and obviously as you keep getting that pressure up, goals are going to come for the Wolverines. So good pressure by the Wolverines. They keep it up and get a big lead here in the first period.
Well, with 9:04 to go in the first period, we have the veteran of the game being honored right now. It's still a little bit of a sparse crowd at different points in Yost. Obviously, the 6:30 puck drop a little bit earlier.
And on a Thursday night, this type of things you expect. I got to say, though, Red Berenson, former legend, hockey coach here at Michigan, hockey player, actually had a chance to come in and speak to my leadership and coaching class taught by John U. Bacon. And I had to say, man, that was one of the most impressive guest lecturers we've had so far, and we've had some great ones. We had Jack Harbaugh, Eric Backage, Kim Barnes-Arico. Red Berenson was a very, very impressive individual. I mean, obviously he has this great pedigree here at the University of Michigan, but listening to him talk about the importance of academics in obviously in college hockey players is something that's so unprecedented throughout all of college athletics. Obviously all these coaches on to the media and to whoever talk about their importance of academics, but this guy actually cares about it. He came back and got his master's. He at certain points of his career in the NHL, he would threaten his managers that, hey, if you don't play me or you send me down to the minors, I'm going to go back, get my law degree, and be a lawyer. Like, this dude cared about his academics. He pushed that to his players, and you can see where he had such great success here at Michigan. And it was an absolute pleasure to see and shake that man's hand.
Face off to the side of Straussman, finally picked out by the Wolverines, but Spartans now get right back to it. A lot of scrum down in that corner here at, of course, named Red Berenson Rink at Yost Ice Arena, dedicated a couple years ago. And Red retired after the 2017 season, but presence still looms large over the program, and the fact that 3 of the 4 assistant coaches coaches and assistant coaches connected with him in some ways. Mel Pearson, the coach for Michigan, an assistant of Reds for over a decade, and assistants Matt Hunwick, as well as Bill McCult, players for Red in the 90s and 2000s. So still a lot of influence over this program. Morgan's got it in his own end after about 30 to 45 seconds of uninspired play both ways. Picked up by Summers, banks it off the boards over to Morgan, tried to push it into the offensive end. Now he's able to do so, flipping it up into the air. They get a new line of forwards and defenders out there for Michigan. Slapped around the boards. Martin pinched up, unable to keep it in. Back down for York, who skates behind his own net, comes out with it. Cam York, the first-round pick, number 13 overall of the Philadelphia Flyers, defenseman out of Capistrano Beach, California. Picked out in the corner, wheeled around, out to Martin at the point. He takes a shot, and it's loose right at the side of the net. And they couldn't quite find it before it trickled wide of the post as a shot from the point came through, and getting a piece of it was Leatherman, but didn't have great rebound control there, and it was loose in the crease. No one able to grab it. Now Michigan ices it, and we'll have the face-off in the Wolverine now, and 7:29 to go in period 1.
Gosh, that shot from the point went right under Leatherman's right armpit and just barely leaked left of the net, left of the crossbar. And, God, that would have been a huge break there for the Wolverines. But, again, like we said, it's starting to pick up the pressure here for the Wolverines. Cut more shots on net. It's going to lead to big things here for the Wolverines.
Shots now 9-5 in favor of the Wolverines. The issue for Michigan this season hasn't necessarily been getting shots as much as high-quality scoring chances leading to goals. There's a shot that comes from the point after a Spartan face-off win, but it goes high, and just getting a piece there was man, as it wasn't really a threat in on net. And now the face-off will stay in the Michigan end.
Yeah, again, like you said, talking about high-quality shots. Michigan's got a couple of those so far. Probably about 3 out of 9 of their shots have been high quality looks. But again, pressure's starting to pick up here for the Wolverines.
There's a draw one by Johnny Beecher. Continues to be dominant in the face-off dot this season for Michigan. I believe he's clean on the night in face-off wins. Becker hands it over to Ciccolini, and he brings it out, showing that speed as he comes in the left wing side, takes a shot right into the glove of Leatherman, whose rebound control as a whole has been pretty good tonight. Been active with the glove, and he's able to snare that one there to face another whistle. 7:09 to go in the first period, still no score.
Yeah, as we continue to see a little shove here from the Michigan and Michigan State players. Jack Becker getting a little bit of a scuffle there, after that goalie conceals the puck. And it's what we respect here out of the Michigan-Michigan State rivalry. You got to love it.
Well, Leatherman entered tonight, .926 save percentage. That's in the upper tier of NCAA hockey, but Strauss-Mann with an equally impressive save percentage himself, .935, so it figured to be a defensive battle, and it's what mostly it's been so far. Blankenberg takes a shot from the point. That one with a good screen in front from Luke Morgan, and just getting a piece there was Leatherman, and Michigan is starting to pressure more now. A bad giveaway. Lewandowski gives it over to Sasana in the Michigan end. There's a try on the back door, and it just is deflected high and wide off the stick of Brody Stevens, who continues to hold it, taking away from Blankenberg. Michigan State able to get a full change there and keep it in, but the puck hopped over Muller's stick. And that goes back into the Spartan defensive end as Michigan is able to get some guys off. Miller had it and lost it. Now gets it right back, comes in, potential 3-on-2. Lewandowski cranks a shot high and over top. Now picked up for potential rush the other direction. Mike Passageoff picks it up, tries to curl around a Spartan defender, unable to do so. Now bounced around. Keaton Pearson picked it up. Still no penalties here in the first period. Pearson takes a shot. Letherman just parries it aside. Michigan now starting to pepper him much more vigorously, curling around, trying to center was Mike Pastajov. Pearson takes a shot through traffic. Over to Orval on the side, leaves it up to Pastajov to the top. He curls through the middle, but then had it taken away. Finally, Michigan State able to push it aside. Play starting to pick up a little bit. Tommy Apap goes in after it on the forecheck. 2 men deep there. Muller and Apap pinned up against the boards with Summers and Keaton Pearson. Now pushed to the side, Pastajov into the corner. Pearson establishes position, but unable to take it away yet. Needs help in order to do so from Jack Summers. He carries it out. Now gets just across center. No, they say he did not. And it will be an icing on the Wolverines. And so the referee will have to come over and pull some guys off the bench.
Yeah, we probably just saw the best look there for the Spartans. Sasana had the puck at the point and delivered a really, really nice pass to Stevens right there in the slot. Almost had an open look at the net and just could not corral it, trying to capitalize on that one-timer. And probably the best look by the Spartans. It's obviously something Spartans are looking for, and they continue to get looks like that. Pucks can go in the net for them as well.
Shots now 12-6 in favor of the Wolverines. They dragged Pastajov off the bench, bring him back on as Hayhurst to do the draw here. And it is won barely by the Spartans. Rosberg picks it up. Now he'll skate to his right across the point. Now past the circle down low. Now they try to get it back to the top. They've got Logan Lambden on the other point, but instead tried to make a risky cross-ice pass, and it was taken away by Michigan, who were able to push it back in the neutral zone. Rekindled and now up into the Michigan end as Saliba picked it up. Allows his defenders to get a change. Now they're in the corner. Logan Lambden with Nodler and Saliba. Nodler's got it up against the boards. The freshman draft pick from the Calgary Flames leaved it for the top, and a shot by Christian Krieger goes wide. And a whistle sounds. And the faceoff will come to Strauss-Mann's left. 4:44 to go in period one. We'll have our final commercial timeout of the first period first.
Yeah, you were talking about it earlier and how great Michigan has been off the power play, and it's such a huge advantage. You were talking about Beecher's ability to, like you said, 53% so far in the season, Michigan's best. Obviously, that's a huge advantage for the Wolverines. You can kind of see it in the puck possession. Wolverines now are starting to hold on to the puck and get good looks at the net. And obviously that starts off with the faceoff, and Beecher's been so excellent. And like you said, he's won every single faceoff he's been a part of today. Big for the Wolverines. That can continue. Obviously, they're going to look to capitalize on one of those opportunities to put the puck in the net.
4:44 to go in period one. Still no score between these teams. No penalties either. This has been a very clean game so far, and we've started to see some of the best chances of the period in this last 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll see who can win the final 4:44 of this one. It's the 9th game of the season for Michigan State, number 11 for Michigan. Michigan State had a weekend early in the year where they played the USN-TDP, which does not count as a college game, obviously playing 18-year-olds.
Yep. Well, it's kind of been a disappointing year both for Michigan and Michigan State. Both sitting at 3-5. Michigan's got 2 ties to go along with the 3 wins and 5 losses. As 2 programs who have been really successful in the last few years. Obviously not the start they're looking for.
Off the draw, Michigan able to carry it out into the neutral zone. Slaker saw it go between his legs, though. Now back down. Picked up there by Cole Krieger. Lays it to his brother Christian. Now York banks it off the boards. Picked up by Slaker. Comes over to the middle and evades a Spartan. Martin sends it deep. Banks it off the boards as it rims around down behind. Pushed up to the top. Cam York gave it off. Now Lambert at it as it continues to just pinball through traffic. Now picked up in the neutral zone by York. He just banks it off the boards and sends it deep. Michigan State and Michigan will both get a change. 4 minutes even to go in the first period. Michigan 0, Michigan State 0. Couple good looks for both teams, but very defensive so far. Goodsir threw it up towards Esteves, now picked up by Becker. He brings it down the right wing side, takes a good shot, and a hard rebound off the right pad of Letherman there. Beecher tried to corral the rebound and instead went down to the ice himself. That's shot number 13 now for the Wolverines. Now carried out through the neutral zone and a long shot in just wide of the net by Boutros Ghaffari. Loose across to Becker. Becker over now to Ciccolini. He's got Beecher in the middle. Ciccolini comes in, takes a shot, and a good save there from Letherman. 14 shots now for the Wolverines. 3:25 to go in period one.
Pressure is continuing to add on here for the Wolverines, and like I talked about earlier, it's been Luke Martin and Cam York in the defensive end really setting the tone in the neutral end with the puck in the Michigan State zone. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, with these shots continuing to go on, better looks are happening. Like I've been keep saying, one of these shots are going to fall in for the Wolverines if they keep adding on the pressure.
Garrett Van Wy now to do the draw out there with Raby and Moyle, and it's won back well by Kodorenko, banks it off the boards down behind for Jared Rosberg, and now brought up. Lewandowski, long stretch pass for Kodorenko, and a little too far, and they say it is an icing, so Michigan will get an offensive zone draw now with 3:15 to go in period one.
Yeah, like you talked about earlier, too, I mean, we still haven't seen a penalty yet in this game. Like you said, a very clean, very efficient game, both here by the Spartans and the Wolverines.
Van White in to do the draw. Michigan leaving their fourth line out there. No real advantage in the icing as it was very shortly off that initial draw. Now that one won back by Van White, but no one there to pick it up. As Moyle had pinched down, Raby came over to try to grab it, but not before the Spartans were there first. Now an open puck and a shot tipped through traffic and off of man. Van Wy picks it up. He's got Moyle streaking down the middle, but he couldn't quite get a proper touch on the puck. Now loose across to Blankenberg. Michigan State's going to look to change at some point. Moyle went off the bench there, and he's going down into the tunnel. Not sure what happened. Michigan would not like another injury as there's a puck that comes in right to the glove of Leatherman and will get a whistle. Might just be an equipment issue. Yep, I think. He's going to sit down.
Yeah.
They're going to look at his
Something
left
wrong with
skate
skate.
right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, he's taking the blade off. It might be an ankle or something. 2:44 to go in the period. Nick Pastajov now out there for the Wolverines with Luke Morgan and brother Mike. In place of Ciccolini on this line is Morgan. Nick Pastajov with Pearson behind him, and the draw is one back, but not a clean corral for the Wolverines, and the Spartans are able to pick it up. 2:35 to go right in front of their own net, and out they come the other direction. Tommy Apap comes up with it. He's got Jagger Joshua on the side. Pearson comes up, gets pushed out against the boards. Pastajov across, Luke Morgan. Pearson streaking through the middle. Morgan flips it up into the air, goes right around an MSU forward. Now pinched in at the top there by Pearson, and Morgan trying to get free. He fell down, no tripping though. Went down by himself. 2:05 to go. Both teams in the midst of changes as MSU still has it in front of their own net. Now Tommy Miller will circle back behind Leatherman and will get assistance coming this way from Josh Nodler and company, and they wait for the entire wholesale change. Almost 10 seconds they've been there behind the net, and now they finally come out with it. Slaker standing in the middle, Hayhurst on the right, and Lambert on the left for Michigan's top line. That's a pass too far, but it's not an icing as Michigan State able to get there first. Logan Lambden beat him in. York picks it up, tries to carry it out himself, but had to give it off to Slaker just to be careful of a potential giveaway. Now pushed in the middle, cycled around the boards, and that one just not close to York.
Nope.
As he was trying to crowd at the point, goes back down through the circles. 80 seconds to go in the first period. York down behind the net, throws across to Luke Martin on the right wing side. He's got Lambert on the left wing side. Hayhurst backhands it deep, and that one goes up into the netting. 1:10 to go in the period. Face-off will be in the neutral zone.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the aggressiveness from Cam York on that defensive position. People always talk about how he's such a great defensive forward. You can really see when he gets the puck at the point and coming here in that transition, you can tell he's looking to score, and he's a very, very good playmaker with the puck in his hands. So, again, if Michigan wants to continue putting shots in the net, Cam York's be one of those guys to provide those opportunities.
Van Wy not able to win that draw. Instead, it was won by Kodorenko as a fourth line, first line matchup there. Lewandowski went down in a tussle with Moyle shortly after the draw. Michigan State carries it out of their own end, and Christian Krieger pushes it down, and now we've got a whistle. Was it an offsides? Trying to see what the call is going to be. That's what it looks like, unless...
I think they were calling offsides, but I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, the box hasn't opened at all. Might have been a hand pass, too.
Yeah.
55.4 to go in the period. 14-7 shots in favor of the Wolverines. Van Wy back out there to do another draw. Moyle is there to help him try to dig it free as it really was just dropped down. Van Wy locked up Kodorenko, but again, MSU able to get the better of that one and control possession, doing a couple twirls in his own end. Christian Krieger now gets it up to Lewandowski, left wing side, lays it behind, looking for Krieger. Van Wy trying to dig it free, couldn't quite have a clean rush. Now they come the other direction, potential 3-on-2. They've got numbers the other way, trying to get to Luce in the middle. Now instead they center it. Blankenberg's there. He takes a shot. He scores! 26.3 to go in period one. A great centering pass, and Blankenberg from the house just rips it top shelf over the left shoulder of John Letherman, and right before the end of the first period, Michigan sends the Yost into a frenzy and takes a 1-0 lead.
Big goal for the Wolverines. As you said, they went back in the 3-on-2 transition. Great pass to Blankenberg right in front of the net. Took his time and top shelved it in that top right corner. What a beautiful play executed there by the Wolverines. Blankenberg right in front of the net and delivers a fiery shot to the top right corner of the net. Great job of the Wolverines getting that 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it looked like Lewandowski, the forward for Michigan State, got lost in his own end, had his back turned by the time he came forward, just had to drop to his knees to try and block it, but that shot way over top of his body, and an absolute snipe from Blankenberg. You can't let a shooter get that close untouched if you are MSU, and that rush created by the fourth line. Now 8 seconds to go in the period. A shot goes deflected off a couple bodies. Martin over to Becker. He tries to get it free. 1 second, and the horn sounds. And so headed into the first intermission, shots 15-7 in favor of the Wolverines, and Michigan leads at 1-0. A pretty controlling first period for the Wolverines.
Yeah, early on in the period, we're talking about how Michigan wasn't getting great looks at the net. A lot of their shots came from the top of the point, really just throwing the puck at the net. But as that period continued to progress, Michigan really started getting good looks at the net. And that goal by Blankenberg, I mean, he couldn't have been wide open, more wide open than he was. I mean, he had nobody around him. He could take his time and, like you said, just sniped it at the top right of the net. And really big goal for the Wolverines here, taking that 1-0 lead. And we're talking about continue to apply this pressure. You get going down the net, or get going down the ice, have good looks at the net. You're going to put one in. Blankenberg had that wide open shot, and he delivered.
Yeah, Blankenberg from Raby and Moyle there to score at the end of the period. Michigan a 1-0 lead, and we will be back in about 15 minutes with the second period.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Yost Arena. This is WCBN Sports presentation of Michigan hockey. I'm Jack Mank, I'm play-by-play.
Ryan Krause, color commentator.
And just over a minute before puck drop in the second period here, Michigan with a 1-0 lead. And a really strong first period from the Wolverines.
Yeah, they kept the puck out of their end of the ice, and they kept it in Michigan State's side, and they outshot them. They scored the goal. They could have had a couple more. They had opportunities to, and I thought it was a pretty dominant first period.
Yeah, despite only leading by 1 on the scoreboard, Michigan had a lot of great chances, kind of controlled possession for most of the period. They had one slip through the Michigan State goaltender that just went wide of the post, almost trickled by him. That would have been their first goal of the night, but they get that first goal of the game with 26 seconds left in the period. Yost was energetic. They were rocking. It was a great momentum shift for the Wolverines heading into the second period, and we'll see if they can build on that.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're taking high percentage shots too. They're taking it right around the goalie. They're forcing Michigan State to take some shots out from the blue stripe, and they're pushing them back into the neutral zone, and they're playing a great game right now.
Only 7 shots on goal for the Spartans in the first period, so stingy defense as well from the Wolverines. Almost or more than doubled their shots in the period. And for a Spartan team that has looked pretty good, they've got some good wins going into Northern Michigan earlier in the year. A team that has a lot of potential. It's definitely a great start, so we'll see if Michigan can build on that as the puck drops to begin the second period. Cessna has it back for the Spartans in his own zone and swings it over. Puck trickles into the Michigan zone. And Strauss-Mann will cover up and avoid danger just 16 seconds into the period. So we'll have a defensive zone face-off now for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and that's another thing Michigan's been able to do. They've been able to run and not let Michigan State set up in an offense.
Michigan State, one of the few things that they did really well in the first period, they kind of dominated at the face-off circle. And a big defensive zone face-off early is lost by Michigan, but the puck will fall out of the Michigan zone, and the Spartans will have to regroup. It's drop back as Michigan State looks to transition into the zone, and that one's fired on net again from the point and held on to by Strauss-Mann. That was Dennis Cessna with the shot. So an early shot on goal for Michigan State. And they'll look to put the pressure on the Wolverines early in the second period again with another defensive zone face-off here. It'll be Patrick Kodorenko for Michigan State. And he wins it again, but Michigan gains possession. Now it's Van Wy. Michigan trying to work into the Spartan zone and losing control was Nolan Moyle on the rush, and it's held on to.
Yeah, and Kodorenko's been dominant in the faceoff so far. Michigan's going to have to look to win the faceoffs against him because outside of him for Michigan State, there's been no other player to really win on the faceoffs.
And as always in this rivalry, it's an awesome atmosphere in Yost tonight with a big weekend for the in-state rivalry. Defensive zone faceoff is won by Michigan State there, and they were able to get the puck out. It's flipped high just out of the zone and now brought back in. Jack Becker lost it, and now Michigan State will look to get it out. They can't. Becker has it and fires a shot that's turned aside by Leatherman. Puck goes into the corner. Becker tries to throw another puck onto the net, and it's deflected wide. Now it's around behind. Michigan State has it along the wall, and they look to bring it out. They do, and shovel it into the Michigan zone. No icing. Michigan State with possession in the corner.
Great defense there, trapping him.
And Michigan will regain possession and look to get it out. Now it's Becker again. They'll swing it across ice as it's flipped in by Cicciolini, and Michigan State will regroup now as both teams look to make changes. On the sidewall looking to get out is Michigan State. That's Cole Krieger, Florida Panther draft pick, but Michigan keeps it in. flipped out to the blue line and not able to keep possession is Keaton Pearson. As Hayhurst tried to get the puck in, and a late hit on the offsides call. Now there's a little scrum going along the boards here. And the bad blood between these two teams is showing its repercussions here.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan State's just frustrated. They've been sloppy with the puck in their own zone, and it's coming back to bite them on multiple possessions.
A clear late hit there. We'll see if, oh, yeah, and they will. That's Krieger they're going to get with a penalty. And we'll see whether or not it's only 2, whether or not they get another Michigan player as well there.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, they're going to send Slaker. So we may have some 4-on-4 hockey here. It looks like they're going to get, oh no, Michigan will actually go to the power play. We'll see what we have now as they look to sort this out. As of right now, it looks like they're going to get Krieger for the late hit. So Michigan will have the power play for that. And then they're going to get Slaker. Let's see, they've got, okay, so Christian Krieger and Cole Krieger, both of them. Not sure which one will serve the penalty for the late hit. It looks like it's Christian Krieger. And then we'll have, so they got him for boarding, actually. And then it'll be 2 minutes. 2 minutes to each Cole Krieger and Slaker for roughing after the whistle.
And Michigan's got to win the face-off here. They got to win the face-off and really run an offense on this power play, the first of the game.
So now that we've got that sorted out, it will be 5-on-4 hockey for the Wolverines. And as you said, a big offensive zone face-off here as the Wolverines power play line will take the ice. One of the things that the Wolverines have struggled with early in this game, and it'll be Nick Passajoff to take the draw for the Wolverines now. Cam York will man the point. York, the young Philadelphia draft pick. And now as we finally get play back underway here with 17:59 in the period, Passajoff with a big face-off win. It's back to York. He gets it over to Hayhurst on the wall. Hayhurst spins and drops his man. Now York has it again up top. Over to Hayhurst on the sidewall. Shots deflected wide and almost comes in front. Passajoff not able to get a stick on it. Michigan tried to swing it in front. Now they have possession and lost it as it swung all the way down the ice by the Spartan penalty killers. Now York will bring it back up for Michigan. Drops it back to Hayhurst, who will get it over to Nick Passajoff. Passajoff trying to work wide on his man and is turned side into the corner. Taken down along the wall, but right in front is Hayhurst and turned down a shot. As the Spartans clogged the crease. And now that puck is fired on goal, and an early whistle will blow the play dead. And tempers still hot for both teams as there's a little more shoving after the whistle there.
Yeah, again, Michigan creating an opportunity off of Michigan State turnovers in their own zone. They're just staying after the puck and making big plays.
And if there wasn't an early whistle there, Orville had a wide open net right in front.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fired it over the net anyways, but a couple great chances for the Wolverines there. And then Hayhurst.
Yeah, just mishandled it right there.
Looked like he tried to make the extra pass, and the Spartans were there to break it up. Another big face-off won by the Wolverines there. It's Becker. Now at the point is Cicciolini. He'll send it into the corner. Beecher sends it back up top. Lambert to Blankenberg. Back to Lambert. Lambert sends it down behind the net. Now Becker has it at the left faceoff dot. Sends it underneath a give-and-go play that Becker isn't able to corral it, and it'll go all the way down the ice as the Spartans will make a change. Now Blankenberg looks to lead the rush for Michigan. Losing it along the wall, and it's picked up by Michigan State, able to get it out, but just barely as Michigan will regroup quickly. Cistolini with a little give and go there, back in front, and a great chance there as Johnny Lambert fired it over the net. Now Michigan State gains possession in the corner, and that'll be swung all the way down the ice as their penalty comes to an end. Christian Krieger comes flying out of the box. Deflected into the zone by Michigan. They have it in the corner. Dakota Raby tried to work it in front of that. It's deflected and taken out. Back into the Michigan zone, but the Spartans have to regroup. They were offsides, and Michigan will work it back out again. Now it's corralled by Kodorenko as the Spartans fire it right back in. And Mitchell Lewandowski was taken down along the side wall, and they might get Michigan for a penalty here. And it looks like they are going to get Van Wy for a trip.
It's a tough penalty to take there. You didn't need to make that play.
And that was the Spartans' first attempt at a transition in the second period as they killed off the penalty and looked to get some offense going, and Van Wy just wrapped his man up. Looks like they got him for a knee, actually, just outside of the Michigan zone. So another big defensive zone faceoff for the Wolverines here, and we'll see if the Spartans are able to get anything going. Being outshot 18-8 so far through 25 minutes. And they win that zone, offensive zone draw, and under attack as Michigan presses them at the blue line, is able to get the puck out. That's Rosberg in the Michigan State zone as they'll look to bring it up for them. The assistant captain gets the center ice and drops it back. Challenged at the blue line again, but the Spartans are able to swing it in deep. Picked up in the corner now, and it's almost taken out, but still kept in by the Spartans. Kodorenko working along the corner. He's able to swing it all the way around, and it's picked up by Rosberg. Rosberg flips it in as he was under pressure by Dakota Raby. Now it's behind the net along the corner and back out to the point. Sessa gets it in to Kodorenko, back to Cessna. Along the wall shot. That's off the pads of Strauss-Mann on the shot by Rosberg and held on to.
Yeah, and they really got to get to Kodorenko on the faceoffs. He's been dominant so far, and I mean, those offensive zone wins are just huge for Michigan State right now. They haven't been able to capitalize yet, but Michigan's got to stop those wins if they want to prevent any future damage.
Kodorenko in the first period was 8 for 9 at the dot. And there was a big offensive zone faceoff that he won. Michigan State wins another faceoff now with just under a minute remaining in their power play. Miller has it up top. Gets it back at the point now, trying to get a shot. Can't get it. And a shot was deflected just wide. That was Spartan along the wall. That was Miller. And puck deflects right out in front. That shot goes wide as well. A couple great chances on the power play for the Spartans. And finally, Michigan is able to
great play
gain
there.
Possession and get the puck all the way out. Miller regroups. Just under 15 seconds remaining in this power play. They flip it in deep. Into the corner, Michigan wins possession and gets it off the boards and all the way down the ice. And that should kill the rest of that penalty to Van Wy. Turnover in the Michigan State zone, picked up by Van Wy, and that shot is blocked, just goes wide. Passage-off gets it out in front. And Van Wy scores!
Big play there.
Passage-off brought it around behind the net and just threw it at Leatherman. And Van Wy found it hanging out right in the middle of the crease and was able to bang it home as the Wolverines take a 2-0 lead.
And that's great, just staying with the play there, not leaving, staying right there to pick up the trash and score another goal.
And after a big penalty kill, the Wolverines are able to turn it around real quick, bring the puck into the Michigan State zone, and just a garbage goal for Van Wy, but a great play by Passage-off just to throw it in front from literally behind the net. And Van Wy is able to get his stick on it and bang it home to make it a 2-0 lead. And it looks like the officials are taking a closer look at this one. Not sure what they could overturn here. It looks like it should be a good goal.
Yeah, looking for maybe goalie interference. But that looked like a pretty clean goal.
And it is confirmed it'll be a 2-0 Wolverine lead. We're with 13-12 remaining in the second period. And I'm not sure there's a better atmosphere in college hockey.
Absolutely.
As Yost Arena is on their feet, the Wolverines take a 2-0 lead over their in-state rivals. Neutral zone faceoff is won by the Spartans as they work it into the Michigan zone, but now it's forced out. But now they'll regain possession, flipped in. Stakowiak fighting for possession along the boards, flipped out in front, and they'll have it at the point now. Scafari, who swings it in just wide. Picked up in the corner. Shot from the slot, that's blocked. Now another chance. And Boutros Scafari will score for the Spartans to answer just seconds later.
That's a big-time answer from Michigan State. They hadn't been able to really set up an offense in the Michigan zone the whole game, and right there they're able to slow it down and make a play. And that's what Michigan's got to avoid. They got to keep running with it, running with the puck, and avoid Michigan State slowing it down in their zone and setting up plays.
Straussman, who's been really good all night, lets in a little bit of a weak one there as Boutros Scafari takes a long shot just outside the faceoff circle and finds its way home. So with 12:30 remaining, it's a 2-1 game. Michigan has the puck deep in their own end. Working to get it out, and they do. They've got numbers now. It looks like it could be a 3-on-2. Luce gets a shot that's deflected just over the net, and it looks like a Wolverine might have knocked the net off as the play is called dead. So exciting opportunity there with a 3-on-2 in transition, and the shot by Griffin Luce just deflected off of the pads of Leatherman.
Yeah, and this is a big face-off right here for Michigan. They got to win this face-off in the offensive zone and try and set up some of the play.
So it must have been a Michigan State Spartan who knocked the net off there and Leatherman, as the Wolverines aren't able to win the offensive zone draw. And it's flipped out to center ice and into the Wolverine zone. Spartans can't get anything going in transition as Michigan regains possession and will look to bring it out. Now Slaker has it at center ice. Slaker trying to make something happen, but it was deflected and knocked out of play into the Michigan bench. So another neutral zone face-off to come. .11:54 remaining in the second period. And although the Spartans have been better, still dominated by Michigan as they are out shooting Michigan State 21-13 as we head to our first media timeout of the second period.
Yeah, shots have been even so far, and I think Michigan just has been trying to run and take shots on the fast break, and Michigan State's prioritized just slowing it down and playing their game. and Michigan's got to what they did in the first period, where they forced Michigan State to play with Michigan and skate the blue line to blue line.
So the Wolverines looking for their first Big Ten win of the season. If they've struggled in Big Ten play against Minnesota, losing 2 last week. And the Spartans with a 3-5 record as well on the season, only 1 win in the Big Ten play so far. So a win in Yost would be huge for both teams tonight, as that shot is fired from outside the blue line by Summers and held onto by Leatherman. So it'll be a offensive zone face-off now for the Wolverines once again. Van Wy, the goal scorer in the second period for Michigan, will take the draw, and he wins it back. Fires a shot on net, and covered up again by Leatherman.
Big win over Kodorenko right there, too.
So Leatherman, minus that fluky Van Wy goal earlier in the period, has been solid for Michigan State. He's 6 for 7 in the period, as Van Wy in that line remains on the ice, facing off against Patrick Kodorenko, who has been excellent on the draw all night, and he wins that one again. Mueller for Michigan State fires that one on goal from outside the blue line as well, and that's held on to by Strauss-Mann. Nicholas Mueller, the freshman from Sweden for Michigan State. He's been good this year for them, as he's averaging half a point a game for the Spartans. And another win for Kodorenko in the Michigan zone. Can't say enough how good he's been for them on the draws, as Michigan is able to work the puck out of the zone. Now deflected back in, as Rosberg fired that one back into the Wolverine zone, and it looks like in an effort to get it out, that one deflected out of play. So it should be another Michigan defensive face-off. And they'll bring it out to the neutral zone, apparently, so a little bit of a break for the Wolverines there. Nick Passagov facing off against Josh Nodler, and Nodler wins it back for the Spartans. Fired into the zone on goal and bobbled by Mann as he is able to deflect it off to the sides. Back up top, it's Ghaffari, the shot deflected wide. Now swung back around as Ghaffari looks to keep it in. He's able to, still kept in the Michigan zone, but they're going to get someone with a glove pass. It might be Ghaffari. So another break there as the Wolverines are moving out of their own zone.
Yeah, but again, Michigan State's going back to what they did in the first period, where they're kind of just taking shots from outside and not really setting anything up, which is hurting them, really.
They haven't been able to get much puck possession at all in either period. Not very many high-quality chances. Their one goal was just a long shot that found its way home. Working to get something going in their own zone. And a hard hit there turns it around for the Wolverines. Hayhurst leaves it back for Slaker, and Slaker fires a shot that goes just over the net. Good chance there for Michigan. York with the puck behind the net, and he gets it out in front. Shot saved. Excellent chance there for Hayhurst. Now York has it back again. That shot is fired wide. Pressure here from the Wolverines. Puck turned into the corner. Sent up top, and not able to get anything on that was Luke Martin. Puck deflects out now finally, as Michigan will keep possession. Hayhurst turning around with the puck. He's got space and he'll skate it in. Looking for a trailer now as he's not able to find one. Shot deflects wide. And looking for a man at the point was Michael Passagov, but not able to find one. It'll go all the way down the ice. Now there's a battle in the Michigan zone. The corner finally comes loose and turned out to Ghaffari, who keeps it in at the blue line. Puck still in the Michigan corner. Now they're finally able to work out with it. Morgan driving to the net and a shot. Good save by Leatherman there, as Morgan was coming in with speed. Back up to Lucy at the point, and his stick breaks. That could be trouble for Michigan. Turning the other way, it's a one-on-one, one man to beat. And good defense there by the Wolverines.
Yeah, great recovery right there.
And that was Wojtek Stachowiak for the Spartans, who was not able to create a chance there, as he had the potential for a one-on-one shot. Deflects just wide.
And Jimmy Lambert 2 possessions ago, that was so close. Puck right in front of the net, just hit straight on the goalie. That's tough.
Great offensive zone possession there, though, for the Wolverines.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the first times in a while, maybe the first time in this period, that they've been able to really pressure the Spartans in their own zone. Cam York creating some great opportunities there. And with 9:14 in the period, Michigan will hang on to a 2-1 lead still. What felt like was going to be a real low-scoring game earlier. No goals until less than 30 seconds remaining in the first period. That was a 3-goal affair, with the Wolverines with 2 and Michigan State with their 1 in the period. Both teams even in the second.
Yeah, you could tell there's opportunities for more too. I think it's just about what team will be able to capitalize on the other team's mistakes and put the puck in the back of the net on things like Michigan State's turnovers in their own zones. I mean, Michigan has to find a way to win more faceoffs. Kodorenko's been dominant so far, and eventually it's going to catch up to Michigan.
And for as good as the Wolverines have been, this still 1-goal game, obviously anyone's game so far. So the Spartans have to be happy with where they're at, as Rosberg has it in his own zone and trying to break out there. Could not hang on to the puck was his centerman. Summer sends it into the corner. Beecher fires a shot and he scores from what looked like the goal line, an impossible angle. And he's able to find Twine. What a shot from Beecher there.
Beautiful shot from the young freshman right there. That was great. And I mean, he's shown flashes all game and all season of what he can be. I mean, he's a first-round pick by the Boston Bruins, and he's big. And you see right there, he's got great puck skills. Just fades in, finds an opening, and puts it in the top right.
Unbelievable shot there from the freshman. What looked like there was no play to be made. Just setting up the offense from just inches in front of the goal line, and he's able to pick the corner.
Wow.
What a play by the young freshman. And the Spartans work the puck into the Michigan zone, but now they are able to bring it back out, and Van Wy has it in Spartan territory. Behind the net, Cam York has it. Now fighting for possession is the Wolverines. They win it back out. Raby gets it over to Moyle, but Moyle's not able to make anything of it. And it's deflected out to center ice. Now Raby will come in transition again. Van Wy, shot fired, that's turned away. York trying to bat it, but Kodorenko is able to win it back to his own man, as Rosberg will turn around and swing it back up to Kodorenko again. Kodorenko into Cessna. Cessna all by himself fires a shot that's turned aside. And now he gets it back. Cessna tries another shot that's blocked by Moyle. Michigan State has it in the corner now. It's Brody Stevens trying to make something happen. Back out to Cessna at the point. And his shot's wide, but off the boards, and Strauss-Mann recovers for the whistle. And this has really been the only line that's able to get anything going at all for the Spartans, that Kodorenko line with Brody Stevens and Mitchell Lewandowski.
Yeah, and that's really just coming off the face-off wins, to be honest. They haven't been able to do much outside of winning those in the offensive zone and then being able to capitalize on that. They haven't been great defensively, and Michigan's taken advantage of that.
So Nick Passageov will face off against Josh Nodler here, and finally an offensive zone or defensive zone win for the Wolverines, but they just fire it out of play. And they'll have another defensive zone face-off on their hands again. 7:35 remaining in the period. Listening to WCBN Sports presentation of Michigan hockey. And Michigan State wins another face-off as Christian Krieger fires it into the Michigan zone. In the corner now, banging around is Passageov for the Wolverines. That's Michael, not Nick. And a shot on the point is fired wide by Cole Krieger as the Spartans continue to keep it in, but now they have to work it back out. Cole Krieger will fire it in deep as the Spartans make a change, and Michigan tries to regroup. Long pass out to Michael Passageov. He's not able to contain that one, and Michigan State will gain possession. Long pass to Stevens. He is able to contain it, working into the Michigan corner around the net. Stevens hanging on to the puck. Turns around, gets a shot in front. And that one just went wide. Miller with the chance there, who will send it back into the corner, and now Miller gets it back. Miller swings it over to Kafari, the only goal scorer for the Spartans, and almost had another one as that one deflected. And a big save by Strauss-Mann. Now the Wolverines finally get it out. Looks like they're not able to make anything of it, though, as Johnny Beecher will fire it into the corner, and now it's kept in. So now the Wolverines are able to make something going as the puck is kept in. Pearson has it at the point, sends it in deep, looking for Beecher, but it goes past him, and Moyle just swings it behind the net. Michigan State regrouping now, looking to make something happen as Miller has it in his own zone. Miller over to Kafari. He'll swing it out to center ice, but Michigan picks it up again. And now it's turned around. Lewandowski gets it up. And another one-on-one chance for the Spartans. And great defensive play again as the freshman Mueller was not able to do anything with that. And a long shot from the point is held onto by Strauss-Mann as the slap shot by Rosberg didn't look like a challenge for Mann.
Great defense right there, shutting down that one-on-one.
Constant action there for a few minutes. A little bit of exciting hockey and chances on both ends. The big one was Boutros Kafari's shot that just deflected wide. And a big kick save there by Strauss-Mann. So the Wolverines will have another defensive zone faceoff on their hands, and surprise, Kodorowski wins it again, or Kodorenko. Michigan working the puck out of their own zone now. Van Wy has it in Spartan territory and fires a shot that's gloved and held onto by Leatherman. So the Spartans will get Kodorenko off the ice for a big defensive zone draw here with 5:16 remaining in the second period, as both teams get new legs. Michigan's got their top line out there with Jacob Hayhurst and Jimmy Lambert, and Lambert fires a shot that didn't get there, and Hayhurst will just send it back out to Luce. Luce over to Blankenberg, who gets a shot that looked like it would go wide, but it's gloved and held onto by Leatherman. Another offensive zone faceoff coming up for Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan's got to keep putting the pressure on winning these faceoffs right now. With Kodorenko off the ice, it's going to be huge that they beat all the other centers on the faceoffs.
And Hayhurst's offensive zone struggles continue at the faceoff circle, but now he keeps it in. And a great play there. Lucy by the goal line shot that's kicked away, and now Hayers has it at the top of the circle, and he's knocked down by his man as he couldn't even get the shot off. Hayers has it at the top, and that's deflected just wide. That's another good chance for Michigan there. Now Rosberg regains possession behind the net for the Spartans. Looking to get the puck out, and he'll just turn it around behind for his man Dennis Cessna. Now it's pushed up ahead. Joshua with a chance. It was deflected wide, nothing happened in there. Wolverines pick it up behind the net. And coming out with speed is Morgan. Morgan works it all the way into the Michigan State corner. Still has it behind the net, and a great chance out in front. As he faked out Leatherman, but nothing doing there as Michigan State will regain possession in their own corner. And Nick Passageov had a shot from the top of the circle that's held onto by Leatherman as the puck squirted 3 out of the corner, and Leatherman held on.
I mean, it just feels like this second period, it's been all about Michigan just suffocating Michigan State in their own zone. I mean, multiple possessions where Michigan will keep the puck face-off after face-off in the Michigan State zone. And that's really why they're ahead right now. They've just been able to create more opportunity by forcing Michigan State to really play defensively the whole game.
3:55 remaining in the second period here. Michigan already with 31 shots on goal, so the pressure's been on the Spartans all night. And Leatherman hasn't been bad, but the Wolverine shooters, Beecher with that excellent goal just moments ago. And then an unfortunate break as he lost the puck, and Van Wy banged home that one earlier in the period. Those are the 2 goals for Michigan in the second.
Yeah, and it's tough when you're taking shot after shot on you throughout a couple minutes over one possession to keep saving the puck. Eventually that's going to find the way through to the back of the net.
Johnny Beecher, the latest goal scorer, back on the ice now, along with Ciccolini and Jake Becker. Becker, his future teammate, another draft pick of the Boston Bruins. As Ciccolini will swing it back out to Martin, and Martin gets a shot that was held onto as that shot from the point somehow found its way to the Michigan State goaltender. And we'll have another Michigan offensive zone faceoff. Beecher pushes it past the defenseman and fired a shot in front of the net that didn't get through as Michigan State was able to work the puck back out of the zone. Now all the way into the Michigan corner. Picked up along the boards. It's Becker trying to work it out. Beecher trying to gain the puck at center now. Fighting for it along the Michigan blue line. And Michigan State comes out with it. Scafari, he'll leave it back for his man. Miller gets it ahead. And Kamer will fire a shot that deflected over the Michigan goal and out of play. No pressure there, as it'll be a neutral zone faceoff.
Yeah, it just feels like Michigan's playing with more energy right now. In all the neutral zone, when the puck is just loose, Michigan seems to swarm to it, and Michigan State is left with 1 or 2 guys on the puck each time.
Michigan wins the neutral zone faceoff and will work it in towards the Michigan zone, Michigan State zone. And now Michigan State will take possession and work into the Michigan zone. They've got 3 guys. Now they've got 4. Cessna has it. And a nice play there as the shot by Kodorenko is turned aside. Lewandowski fired a shot from the point that was gloved down and worked all the way out of the Michigan zone. But now Michigan State will bring it back in. It's a 2-on-1. And a great defensive play there as breaking up the pass was Garrett Van Wy. Van Wy effectively ending a great Michigan State chance. And he's able to turn it out of the Michigan zone, and it goes all the way down the ice, but it'll be an icing against the Wolverines, so it's coming all the way back.
And you see right there, too, just more energy, staying with the play the entire time. Van Wy's been great at that all game, just staying with the play. And he's been rewarded all game with great plays.
One goal on the night for Garrett Van Wy, and potentially a goal-saving play there on the 2-on-1 as he dove in front of a pass.
Yeah, definitely.
And the defensive zone faceoff now is won by Michigan, as Van Wy will just dump it into the Michigan State zone at center ice, and the Wolverines will get a change. Bringing out of the zone for the Spartans. And it's dumped into the Michigan territory and picked up behind the net as they'll work it back out now. Hard hit along the boards. Nick Passagov took a hit at center ice. Now Miller has it for the Spartans as his shot from the point is deflected up and over the net. Just 1:46 remaining in the second period. Shots are 32-20 in favor of the Wolverines. Representative of how the game's gone so far as they hold on to the 3-1 lead. And
yeah,
in
absolutely.
both periods, they've been all over Michigan State. And a rare faceoff loss there for Kodorenko in the Michigan zone as the puck is worked out, but now sent back in, and Kodorenko will go in after it. Luke Martin swings it behind the net. And Cam York will now pick up the puck that was left along the wall. Martin swings it all the way out and not able to be held onto by the Michigan forwards. And it looks like there might be an offsides against Michigan State as there was a little bit of back and forth action, just swinging the puck back at each other. And apparently it's going to be a defensive zone face-off, maybe a glove pass against the Wolverines. Not sure what they got there. But Kodorenko makes a good move off the draw and fired a shot on goal that was turned aside. Now Michigan regained possession and flipped it all the way towards the Michigan State zone, and it's picked up behind the net. Christian Krieger with speed and loses an edge, but brings the puck into the Michigan zone. Lewandowski has it in the slot now, and a shot is fired just high and wide. And it came around the side of the Michigan State scores.
Snuck through right there. And you knew Kodorenko was going to get an opportunity at some point. He's been playing great all game. Tough for Michigan there. Straussman, I mean, he was right there too. Tough, it just slipped right by.
Just a tough break there as the initial shot from the high slot came from Mitchell Lewandowski. Pressure looked to be over, and a hard bounce off the boards came right out in front as Kodorenko was able to bang it home to make this a 3-2 game with less than a minute remaining in the period. So in both periods with less than a minute left, teams have been able to capitalize. And it's back within one as Michigan State is fighting for possession in the Michigan zone. They've got it behind the net. They hang on to it. Up to the point, Cessna fires a shot that just goes wide. Another good chance there for the Spartans. And Michigan is able to flip it out as Rosberg will hold it for Michigan State. And as Michigan regained possession, it was fired all the way down the ice, and that's going to be coming back for an icing against the Wolverines.
Yeah, and at the end of this period, it seems Michigan State's kind of flipped the script, and they've been keeping the puck all in Michigan's zone. And, I mean, you can tell the momentum hasn't fully shifted over, but Michigan State is getting more opportunities now than they were earlier in the period.
Kodorenko will take this big offensive zone faceoff for the Spartans with only 20 seconds remaining in the period. He wins it out in front and off the crossbar on the shot from Lewandowski from the slot. Another great chance with just seconds remaining in the period as Michigan is able to flip it high and all the way down the ice. Stretch pass up to Kodorenko. Kodorenko has it at the top of the circle, and a shot is fired just wide as the period runs out, and Michigan will hang on to a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, and hang on is right. Kodorenko, you see those face-off wins are starting to catch up to Michigan as they get a wide-open shot at the end of the period.
And it almost cost them. That shot from Lewandowski off the crossbar, one of the best chances of the game for Michigan State. But Michigan gets 2 in the period, and Michigan State actually tied that total, but it's a 1-goal game as we head to the third. Should be exciting between these two in-state rivals. So with the third period coming up in 15 minutes, you're listening to WCBN's presentation of Michigan hockey, 3-2 lead. We'll be back in 15 minutes.
Welcome back now to the third period between Michigan and Michigan State. I'm Alex Drain, joined by Jack Manka. And Jack, you called that second period. What did you see going on there? It was a busy period, 4 goals in total. What did you see?
Yeah, both teams had some great chances on offense, and we saw Michigan close out the first period with some momentum, getting that goal to take the lead heading into the locker room, and Michigan State had that in the second with a big goal at the end of the period, just less than a minute remaining to make it a 1-goal game. So a little bit of momentum shift there. We'll see if they're able to make anything out of it. But overall, Michigan's been really dominant most of the game. They've had some great chances, a couple really impressive goals. Beecher with that shot from essentially the goal line. So some pretty good hockey both ways. Michigan has been the pretty clear better team so far. They're out shooting Michigan State 32-22, and Strauss-Mann's been really good for Michigan too. So we'll see if they're able to hold off a Michigan State rush, see if they're able to kind of end the momentum that the Spartans gained at the end of the period, and yeah.
Goals by Blankenberg, Van Wy, and Beecher for Michigan. Ghaffari and Kodorenko, the goal scorers for MSU. It was 2-0 Michigan, then 2-1, then 3-1, and now at 3-2 as we get ready for the third period. Michigan starting their fourth line out there. Van Wy, Moyle, and Raby against Kodorenko. And Lewandowski joined by Stahoviak instead of the usual Brody Stevens, and Kodorenko wins that draw. He's now 18 for 24 in the faceoff dot tonight. Excellent for MSU. They've been pretty strong in the circle, and there's a reason for that in Kodorenko. He does a nice job dangling it into the Michigan end. York there along with Raby in the corner. They dig it free. Van Wy, he's got Moyle up ahead, banks it off the boards to Moyle coming in the left wing side. Moyle throws on the brakes, but lost the puck, and Michigan State pushes it out the other direction. Lewandowski comes up with it, goes around Cam York. Now Martin has to come over and help him out. Raby backhands it down below. York picks it up. Got Moyle and Van Wy in the middle. York's going to skate so well into the offensive end past the blue line, now curling towards the net. Lost it, but getting some help as Slaker came down to hold it in, and Michigan's continuing to have an offensive possession, now taken away, picked up by Rosberg, who sends it deep. Joshua in after it, but Lambert will get to it first. Backhands it past Blankenberg as 2 Spartans were bearing down. Now Blankenberg picks it up, flings it in on net towards Letherman, who will put the trapper down and hang on with 18:54 to go in the third period.
And another good start to the period for Michigan as they were able to just hold on to the puck in the Spartan zone for a little while, maintain possession, and now they forced an early offensive zone face-off. So good start there for Michigan.
So 18:54 to go in the game. Michigan 3, MSU 2, 33-22 shots in favor of the Wolverines at this juncture. Draw 1 back by Beecher, but Spartans' first 2 at Tommy Apap picked it up there on that face-off, which was to the left of Letherman. Now a bad giveaway as Ciccolini, the first one in after it, but Spartans get there first. Cross-ice pass. Logan Lambden sends it deep down behind Strauss-Mann over to his right, our left from the way we're looking at it. Pearson picks it up in the corner. Mike Pasajov over to Becker, now across to Summers, now over to Mike Pasajov on the right wing side, just past the blue line, takes a shot high and rising into the glove of Letherman for a whistle. 17:56 to go in the game.
Good transition offense there by Michigan as well. A couple nice passes we saw on that rush. Becker making some nice passes across ice there, and finally a shot on goal. So another offensive zone face-off for the Wolverines, and it's Nick Pasajov, who has been pretty much the only Wolverine tonight that's been really solid at the face-off.
And he wins it over to brother Mike, but an infraction whistled on Michigan State nullifies the whole draw as Michigan was quickly to it. Pastajov, the younger, was ready to crank a shot in the area of Letherman, but they whistled the play dead. Michigan would have liked that one to just go on regardless of the infraction. Instead now They'll have to wait a second for another face-off try as Saliba wins it back, and MSU gets the better of the infraction mistake. Now sent all the way back into the Michigan end, but with no icing. Must have been tipped off a Wolverine stick. Pearson the first one to it. Wolverines pick it up and carry it into the neutral zone. Mike Pasajov cuts to the middle, tried to leave it off for Luke Morgan, crashing down the right wing side, right in front of the netminder for MSU, Letherman. The Spartans pick it up. Saliba centering pass deflected. Michigan's got numbers the other direction if they hurry, and they do. It's Raby coming up the left wing side, lays it behind for Morgan, across looking for Luke Martin, but couldn't hit him in the tape. Martin first one to it though, and he gets leveled there in the corner. Puck still free, and Michigan is to it in the offensive end. They can continue this offensive possession. Van Wy throws it in the area of the goaltender Letherman, but then intercepted by the Spartans. Both teams get wholesale changes. 17 minutes to play in the contest. Michigan 3, MSU 2. Good forechecking effort there by Garrett Van Wy, who's been so strong tonight, notching a goal of his own, and that one goes into the Michigan bench, and the faceoff will stay in the neutral zone.
And that hard hit in the corner from Rosberg has been pretty representative of how Michigan State's been all night, taking a play out of the football team's playbook. They've just been really physical with the Wolverines, a little bit scrappy in the offense or in the defensive zone, and Rosberg gave the future NHL defenseman Luke Martin a little taste of the Spartan physicality right there.
Adam Goodser able to win that draw for Michigan State. Again, they've been very strong in the faceoff dot tonight. Boutros Ghaffari, the defenseman on the left side, scored the first goal of the night for MSU. Throws it up to Esteves and sends it deep into the Michigan State offensive end. Down in the corner, Hayhurst had it and lost it. Michigan State quickly to it. Now dug out by Blankenberg. 2 Spartans, 2 Wolverines right behind the cage with Strauss-Mann peering on. Ghaffari takes a shot and through a screen, man able to hang on as it hits him in the chest for a whistle. 16:28 to go. Still 3-2, Michigan on top.
Maybe not the most high quality of chances, but the Spartans have shown tonight that good things happen when you just get the puck to the net. Ghaffari has the one goal on just a long shot from the top of the circle, and then almost another one that he took from almost outside the zone that deflected, and man had a big save. And then there, Ghaffari just throws a shot on net, and an easy save for Mann, luckily.
Van Wy and Kodorenko to do the draw to Strauss-Mann's right, and Van Wy is able to win that one. Good for him after a rough first 2 periods in the faceoff dot. He was just 5 for 19, and now a bad giveaway. Kodorenko right in. He takes a shot, save, rebound, scores! An ugly giveaway in the Michigan end, and Patrick Kodorenko already got 1 goal tonight, notches his second for a team-leading 6th. And with 16:16 to go in period 3, we are tied at 3.
Yeah, and you said it, an ugly giveaway. And you can't do that and give the puck away to good players like Kodorenko, because as he just showed, he's going to make you pay.
Michigan won the draw and tried to clear it out of their own zone. It banked around, and it was Dakota Raby who had it on the left wing side of the boards. He was trying to center it and didn't get nearly enough on it. Also, the defender he was trying to get it to fell down, and instead it was just a sitting duck for Kodorenko right in the middle of the house for an untouched look on Strauss-Mann. He made the first save, but Kodorenko made no mistake with the rebound. 16 minutes to go now off the faceoff. 3-3 game. This is where gut check time kicks in. Another giveaway and another great save for Strauss-Mann. Michigan getting very sloppy right now, but Strauss-Mann comes up with another big save.
And that one was almost worse than the other one as Pearson just left it behind the net. And the Michigan State attacker Stevens was hanging out right in front of the slot, a one-time shot, and a big save there by Strauss-Mann. But could have been trouble for the Wolverines there.
So Garrett Van Wy now back out there. He won the draw that Michigan was unable to get out and led to the Kodorenko goal, and he wins another one. Picked up by Raby, and he's able to finally get it out of his own zone this time. Moyle whacks it deep, and he goes around the end boards. Moyle, Van Wy, and Raby constituting this 4th line. Now there's a giveaway in favor of Michigan, and the stick is broken. Van Wy was going to have a decent look in front of the net, but his stick shattered in half, and so he has to go off and get a new stick, and now we've got a whistle coming. Looks like a penalty coming to MSU as Van Wyatt skated off to get a new stick. There continued to be battling in the corner, and it looks like Cole Krieger is going to go to the box. Looks like, yep, cross-check on Dakota Raby. Got him right from behind in front of the boards there in that right corner, so Michigan will go to a power play. 15:30 to go in the game. 3-3 tie. Big opportunity to get this lead right back.
Absolutely a big opportunity there, and just as it seemed like Michigan had maybe responded well to the momentum that Michigan State brought into the period, the Spartans answer with a goal quickly to tie it up, so it's a big chance for Michigan here.
So Nick Pasajov will do the opening draw, but he immediately gets whistled for something, and he gets kicked out of the faceoff dot. Slaker comes in instead to do it against APAP, and the Spartans are able to win that draw and immediately clear it back down. This top power play unit, York, Hayhurst, Slaker, Pasajov, and Emil Orval for the Wolverines. Michigan 0 for 1 on the power play tonight. Got some pretty good looks, though, back in the early second period. Hayhurst skates in with it, dangles around a couple Spartan defenders. Now Orval on the half wall, the right wing side. He heads over to the bumper position. Slaker's on the right half wall now with Hayhurst on the left. They tee up a one-timer for Slaker. Shot high and rising, and Letheman got a piece. Now Orval goes in to the left corner there with Hayhurst. Dug out nicely by Orval. Left to the top for York. He skates through the middle, takes a shot over top of the net. Big bounce off the boards. Michigan control. Slaker right wing side. Skates over to the circle. Hands it off to York at the top. Back to Slaker. Couldn't quite get that one teed up for a one-timer. Now he tried to throw it into the middle and deflected onto the blade of APAP. And the Spartan centerman sends it down. Halfway done in the power play. Decent look so far. York brings it up. Hands it off to Lambert. Now York will go off. Lambert brings it in right wing side, with Ciccolini right behind him. Ciccolini to it, up against the boards, battled for through a crowd. Miller out there for the Spartans, able to get it up to Sam Saliba, who sends it deep. Blankenberg gets the handoff from Straussman down behind the cage. 30 seconds remaining. Michigan's going to have to get another zone entry executed correctly. Blankenberg over to Beecher, but just barely onside, then lost it off his skate and sent back down. Michigan has had trouble getting in the zone since that opening faceoff was won to begin the power play. Blankenberg over to Lambert. Lambert skates into the middle towards the Block M logo and then lost it again. Michigan State's done a great job just holding the blue line and repelling any zone entries. Van Wy knocked to the side again. Lewandowski was the one getting to him, and now Cole Krieger out onto the ice. Back to full strength are the Spartans. So 0 for 2 Michigan now on the power play tonight. 0 for 1 is MSU. Griffin Luce got it down behind the net, sends it across to Dakota Raby. Raby bounces it off the boards. Moyle in behind the play, but they say an icing on Michigan. 13-13 to go in the third period. 3-3 Michigan State and Michigan.
Not a bad power play for the Wolverines there. As they started, the first probably minute or so was pretty good after they won that face-off, had a couple chances, and then once the Spartans got it out of the zone, Michigan just not able to get the puck back in, and that effectively killed the power play. But good puck possession early on there.
Van Wy loses that draw. Shot goes wide off the stick of Miller, and Lewandowski went down hard in the slot. Got tangled up with Luke Martin, but Michigan State continues to hold it in, and now they're going to give a penalty to Michigan coming, and looks like it's going to be a cross-check that led to Lewandowski going down, and so now MSU have scored 2 straight goals, have a chance to make it 3 straight and take a lead with 13:02 to go in period 3. Luke Martin's going to head to the box, and we'll get a commercial timeout. Shots 35-26 now in favor of the Wolverines.
And they're going to get Luke Martin for a high stick there.
High stick, yep.
And he just got up towards his helmet and hauled him down. Easy call there for the officials. And this is a huge power play for Michigan State, a huge penalty kill for Michigan, as the Spartans clearly have all the momentum right now with just over 13 minutes to play. This could be a defining moment in the game, so we'll see which team is able to respond here.
13:02 to go.
in the first 2 periods, it felt like Michigan really had control of the game. Just over a minute left in the period, Michigan had a 2-goal lead. Looked like they had a chance to head into the final period with a 2-goal lead, and they were in really good shape. And now all of a sudden, tie game, Michigan State heading to the power play. Things are looking a little rough for the Wolverines here. So, as we said, huge power play here for Michigan State and potential huge penalty kill for the Wolverines.
Out of the timeout, it'll be Kodorenko up against Johnny Beecher for a huge face-off to begin the Michigan State power play, and it's won back by the Spartans. Dennis Sasana at the point with Jared Rosberg. They man the tops, and then there's a shot through traffic and a nice save by Mann, immediately getting the trapper down. 9 seconds gone on the power play. Just a seeing-eye shot through a screen, but right into the body of Strauss-Mann off the blade of Dennis Sasana. And the face-off now will come to Mann's left instead of his right. Kodorenko, and they get Beecher off. Instead, it's going to be Van Wy. That draw is won back by the Spartans up towards the top. Sasana now over to Rosberg. Shot blocked well. Getting down for it was Jack Summers. He comes up wincing a little bit. Back to Sasana at the top. He's at that Big Ten logo to Lewandowski on the left point. They man the points with Rosberg at the half wall. Kodorenko the bumper. Lewandowski over to Sasana at the top. Now back across to Rosberg. He skates around the Red Berenson Rink logo. Takes a shot through traffic. Blocked down. Now over to the side. Sent across. Can Rosberg get to it? He can. Michigan State holds it in. There's a shot deflected in front of the net. Kodorenko got some tape on it. Now it rolls around. Rosberg holds it in. 1:13 to go in the power play. That one into the glove of Strauss-Mann for a whistle. 12-12 to go in period number 3. Tied 3-3. Michigan and MSU shots 35-29 in favor of the Wolverines. They need to kill off another 70 seconds of power play time.
And they've done a pretty good job so far. Jack Summers with an awesome block there on our right side here. And not giving the Spartans any too dangerous opportunities. All shots from the point that Strauss-Mann's been able to deal with.
Now the draw won back by the Wolverines. That's a big face-off win, and Cam York is able to clear it out. It clipped the top of the boards, and now all the way back down. 12 minutes to go in the contest. Now skating up with it is Rosberg. He's been out there. This first power play unit for MSU's been out there the entire time. Sasana brings it in on the zone entry. Now laid across over to Lewandowski at the left point. He sends one through, that one bouncing and now cleared all the way down. Cam York quickly to it as it bounced off an MSU stick. Now Michigan will get a change. See, Michigan changed up their penalty killing strategy in the offseason, acquiring Chris Mayotte, the assistant coach formerly of Providence. Now skating in with it is Lewandowski, and Michigan clears it back down. Wolverines were in the bottom tier of college hockey in penalty killing each of Mel Pearson's first 2 years, then made an adjustment this offseason. Generally, it's been a pretty strong unit so far this year, but a rough weekend in Ohio State that led to the sweep. And there's a chance in front, they score! Skating down the right wing side, bringing it into the zone was Josh Nodler. It's the first time we'd seen that second power play unit, and then a quick throw in front. And I'm trying to see who's going to get credit for that goal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Logan Lambden, who got the puck right in front of the net, and somehow he was just lost. There wasn't anyone on him. And we'll see in the replay here. It looks like Lambden just got the puck right in front of the net and gets the quick shot off to the top corner.
And now Michigan's going to challenge for an offsides. Could be interesting. Haven't seen any replays yet. Let's have to take a look. 11:09 to go in the game. Let's take a look.
That's going to be onside.
Yeah, looks onside to me. At least what we were shown on the Jumbotron. Referees are getting their first looks at it. Have the headsets on.
And if that goal stands, which it looks like it's going to, yeah, almost definitely going to stand.
Depends on if that skate is back toe is down. It sure looks like it is, at least from our angle, but they could have something closer. Have to wait and see. Two referees standing in the penalty box talking to each other.
For what it's worth, the Michigan fans seem to be optimistic.
Yep, they say it stands, which was our expectation. So, 11:09 to go in the game. Michigan wants up 3-1, now trail it 4-3, and they have about 11 minutes to change things. Michigan 0-3-1 in Big Ten play. MSU 1-1. Michigan desperately needing a first win in conference play. They looked in good position to do it and really dictated play up to the point they were up 3-1, and now the tides have turned big time. MSU wins that draw immediately. Ghaffari comes across the midline and sends it deep into the Michigan end. 35-30 shots in favor of the Wolverines, but Michigan State's been chipping away at that total as steadily as they have chipped away at the Michigan lead and now eventually taken one of their own. Johnny Beecher carries it out of his own zone past the blue line to center, now into the offensive end, tipped around into the corner. Now picked up down behind the net. Trying to dig it free. Becker is down there. Looked like it was picked up for a second by Beecher, and then his pass out to the top. Martin couldn't hold it in past the blue line. Now sent all the way down. 10:25 to go in the game. 4-3 Spartans on top. Kodorenko in his own end. Rifles it up. Tipped off a stick, and now all the way back down. Blankenberg quickly to it for the Wolverines behind man, but another giveaway in the Michigan end. They gave it away to Kodorenko there, held in at the line. Now picked up into the air, loose, grabbed it down, put it on his stick blade. Can't quite get it out yet, though. Now Nick Pastajov is able to do so, but Michigan State, great job applying the pressure. You can just see Lewandowski and Kodorenko really going to work for this MSU team. There's a shot high and over top of the net, down behind man. They're trying to pick it out, and now a penalty upcoming. And some pushing after the play. Mike Pastajov is talking to the referees. Let's take a look on what they decide. It looks like it's going to be two minor penalties. I'm trying to figure out what was the initial penalty, because Kodorenko and Pastajov are going to sit down in the box. So they say roughing on Pastajov and a cross-check on Kodorenko. Kodorenko, that first call seemed to be on him. Let's take a look. Yeah, Kodorenko cross-checked Luce on the ground, which is really a stupid thing since Luce was already laying on the ice. And then if Pastajov got a penalty for that late after the whistle punch to the back of Lewandowski's head, that is an awful penalty to take. You're already going to be going to a power play, and then to exacerbate that after the play and turn a power play into a 4-on-4 makes no sense.
And a bad penalty to take by Kodorenko. But like you said, at that point, Michigan's going to the power play. And that's great news for them as they desperately need a game-tying goal. And then Pastajov, just you let your emotions get the best of you there, and that is a really, really bad penalty to take. Play's been dead for a couple seconds. There's a little bit of shoving there, but at that point, you just gotta not do it. Just don't do anything to get yourself a penalty at least.
Yeah.
If you grab a hold of the other guy and you give him a shove, maybe you're still going to the power play, and then you punch him in the back of the head. That's the one thing you don't want to do. So unfortunate for the Wolverines, but maybe they can get something going in 4-on-4 here.
So 9:46 to go in the game. Michigan trailing MSU 4-3. This Michigan team, really, the scoring has been the problem for the Wolverines this season. They've been good defensively most of the year until really this game. You take a look, 20 goals scored in 10 games, just 2 per game, and they've only scored 1 or 2 in their preceding 5 games. And then tonight they get to 3 midway through the second, but are now trailing 4-3, the most they had allowed since the 4-1 loss against Western Michigan in the back end of the home and home with the Broncos in late October. So really a different kind of game that Michigan is used to. Now out of the face-off, Michigan brings it into the offensive end. Blankenberg pinned up there against the boards, able to dig it free. Blankenberg had a goal earlier in this game, a great snipe at the end of the first period to put Michigan up with 25 seconds remaining in the frame, headed into the second. Now up come the Spartans in this 4-on-4 hockey. Van Wy takes it away. He's out there with Luke Morgan, Cam York, and Blankenberg. Blankenberg goes off behind the play as Van Wy streaks in down the left wing side, joined by Luke Morgan as they apply pressure on the forecheck against the Spartans. Trying to dig it free is Miller across to Sisana. Now back the other way. Spartans have had it in their zone for a while. 1 minute to go in the 4-on-4. Now back down behind, held there by MSU. 8:40 to go in the game. 50 seconds remaining in the 4-on-4 still. Pass across. Lambert dug it free. Luke Martin takes it away. Now up to Hayhurst. He's trying to streak in behind the play. He's got Lambert with him there. Martin on the side. They get it to Martin at the right point. Takes a shot. Big rebound. And it comes through. Now Martin holds it on the left point. He's got Hayhurst over on the right if he wants him. He does not. Turns down with it instead. Rims it around the boards. Now all the way up towards the top of the offensive zone. Now past the blue line and back down. 20 seconds remaining as Michigan will get a change and get back on sides up towards Lambert and Hayhurst. They only change the defenseman. Lambert comes in right wing side, curls around behind the net, comes all the way through the zone with it. Now over to Keaton Pearson at the top. Pearson takes a shot, deflected off the stick into the corner, and now MSU content to just hold it against the boards. Kodorenko and Pastajov are out of the box. Pastajov will come off. And we're back to 5-on-5 play as Rosberg carries it free. He takes a shot into the glove of Strauss. Man, a pretty high percentage look there from Rosberg, just maneuvering around the Michigan defense to take a shot in on net. 7:35 to go in the game.
Big save there by Straussman, but a couple good chances in the Michigan State zone for Michigan, and just not able to get anything going. Running out of time here, 7:35 to go, and it's only a 1-goal game, so it's far from over, obviously, but you got to get something going soon.
Kodorenko wins the draw back to Sisana, took a shot, and it deflected wide of Straussman, but this great pressure from MSU, and particularly that first line, which has accounted for 2 of the 4 goals tonight for the Spartans, and now that one goes into the benches. And 7:17 to go, and some pushing after the play there by Ciccolini. Game is slowed down a little bit.
Spartan bench looks like they were calling for another penalty there, as maybe Ciccolini with a little bit something extra after the whistle there, but officials ruled that it was not enough to warrant a penalty, so we'll still have 5-on-5 hockey.
Shots 37-32 in favor of Michigan. 7:17 to go. Michigan's got to come up with 1 goal in that span without allowing any to tie this game and send it to an extra frame. APAP has it in the middle now, across over to Cole Krieger, and just past that Toyota logo outside the Michigan blue line, sends it deep. Raby in there in his own end to try and pick it up. It was the Raby giveaway that gifted Michigan State the game-tying goal early in this period to make it 3-3. 6:50 remaining. Now up to Nick Pastajov. He carries it into the offensive end. Spartans corral it. Now they go down in the corner trying to dig it free as it rims around the boards. Now up Blankenberg applied a check, and now here come the Spartans the other direction. 6:33 to go. Takes a shot high and rising up off the shoulders of Mann. Michigan State gives that one away and are content to just get back and try to get a change as Michigan carries it out. Raby skates past the red line, now into the blue line, and the offensive end tries to center one. That one pinballed off a body and now sent deep into the glove of Letheman. He lays it behind for Ghaffari. Approaching 6 minutes to go in the game. Shots 37-33 now in favor of the Spartans. 4-3, MSU on top. Now over across, Luke Morgan there. Beecher lays it behind up to Summers at the top. That's a shot that goes wide after a deflection of some kind. A lot of bodies banging around in front of Letheman. Ghaffari to it. Slaker trying to dig it free now along the boards. Flipped up into the air and down the ice in a rolling puck. Summers to it. pursued behind by Logan Lambden. Over to Sliker, knocked between his legs. Now over to Summers. He curls with it in his own end. Over to Martin. And Martin flips it up into the air and back down the ice. 5:20 to go in the third period. Flipped up along the boards and now into the stands. 5:18 to go. 4-3 Michigan State on top.
And like you said earlier, the game definitely does have seemed to slow down a little bit, and not really any high-quality chances for either team, but that's exactly the way Michigan State would want to have it. They're just going to try to kill as much of the next 5 minutes as they can and get out of here with a one-goal victory, but obviously Michigan is going to try to not let that happen and get something going sooner rather than later.
Now loose over to Lambert. He's got in with Orval, but lost it off his stick blade down below. 5 minutes to go. Flipped it along. Griffin Luce picks it up. Luce spins around. He goes down. No penalty coming. And Michigan State's got a chance. Kodorenko skates right in, but lost it off his stick. Sasana across to set up Miller at the top. A nice deflection by Lewandowski. Just goes wide. Kodorenko there into the middle. Takes a shot. Does Lewandowski high and over top, and Mann's able to get the glove down and hang on for a whistle. 4:38 to go. Michigan hasn't had a lot of great chances over the last few minutes when they really need to be turning up the pressure. Still down 1 goal.
And Michigan State was the team there with a couple great offensive chances as Kodorenko made a move right in front of the net, lost the puck and wasn't able to finish, and then a great deflection in front of the net. Almost gave the Spartans a 2-goal lead as that one just went wide. But with 4:38 to go, Michigan only has the Spartans by 3 shots. As the shot total at this point is 37-34 in favor of the Wolverines. And it really feels like, even though there's 4:38 left in a 1-goal game, it just feels like they're running out of time. So
yeah, Michigan's going to have to do something. The energy they were playing with for really the entire first half of this game just hasn't really been there here in this third period, and especially not since the Michigan State goal. Going to have to change something up to avoid yet another loss in this skid. They are 0-3-1 now in the month of November after a pretty strong month of October. They went 3-2-1 in October, plus the exhibition win over Windsor. But here in the month of November into Big Ten play, this hasn't been clicking so far for the Wolverines. Garrett Van Wy to do this draw, and he loses it back to the top. Miller sends it deep, and Michigan State's going to look to just continue to apply that forecheck pressure. Best way to not give up a goal is never to have it in your own end. That's been their strategy so far with the lead, and really, as a whistle sounds and the face-off for after a hand pass will come back in the Michigan end, you can see really the big difference in this game is that Michigan State's top line, Kodorenko and Lewandowski and Brody Stevens, they're just better than anybody else that Michigan's got right now. Really dictating play when they're out there. APAP in the dot with Garrett Van Wy. That one in the circle. Raby's trying to pick it out. Moyle there, he gets spun around now into the corner. Jagger Joshua pinned up against the boards. Tries to flick it into the middle, picked up by Raby, and he'll send it all the way back down. Van Wy chasing in after it, and he's going to lose that race in icing. Another whistle, just a lot of whistles here over the last 3 or 4 minutes of play. 4:11 to go in the game.
yeah, and the Spartans are just, they'll take as many whistles as they can get. They just want to chop it up and don't let Michigan get anything flowing here towards the end of the game. Don't let them get any momentum of any sort going, so it's no problem for them.
Kodorenko strides into the dot with Van Wy, and now draw is won back, corralled by Cam York, but he immediately banks it off the boards and then into the netting, and so they'll have to do another face-off.
And only 5 seconds off the clock there, but just another example. It's another offensive zone face-off for Michigan State, and it's just, this clock is just slowly ticking down
Well, and with that situation, you win a draw and to not get anything out of it. Now they win another draw, and York again can't get it out. Michigan State holds it in at the line. Looked like Lewandowski there riding the blue line very well. York applies that real good pressure along the wall, and Michigan just cannot get it free of their own end after winning a face-off, and now they flick it up into the air. We'll see if it can produce anything offensive as Morgan sends it deep. Michigan can finally get their defenders on a change. Morgan tripped up down behind the play. Nothing coming, and now the puck goes all the way back down, and the fans getting a little antsy. They say no icing as Blankenberg is first one there. He picks it up and going to try to lead the rush the other way. Blankenberg fires to Morgan. Now a delayed penalty on MSU. To the bench goes Strauss-Mann. That one a big bounce and a rebound. Another try. Pastajov couldn't get to it, and now Michigan State touches up and some pushing after the play. And just throwing some punches there in the corner. 3:19 to go. As Christian Krieger was the one throwing punches, and he's talking to the referees right now.
It'll be interesting to see what we have here. We know we've got at least the one penalty against Michigan State, but there definitely were some punches thrown by Krieger there, and we'll see if there's anything else against either team.
You might have what happened early in the game where you have the offsetting after the play in addition to the first one, but we'll have to wait and see. They've got two men headed to the box. Now here comes the second one, and that indeed looks like what's going to happen. Yep, so Rosberg goes to the box for slashing, and then you have the offsetting roughing between Christian Krieger and Nick Pastajov. So with 3:19 to go, it will be a 5-on-4 power play for Michigan. And you could always pull the goalie to make it 6-on-4, but obviously the concern being that with no icing in play, Michigan State gets a ton of shots in on an empty net from afar. They'll start with just 5-on-4, but this is the chance now for Michigan to try and tie this game. 3:19 to go and a 2-minute power play upcoming. That draw is won by MSU into the corner, but Michigan first one to it. Now just pinned up against the boards. Hayhurst to it. He slings it along. Can Slaker hold it in? He can. Right up by the Red Berenson ranked logo. Skates down with it. Across to York. York back to Slaker. Tried to center it. Slaker on the right wing side. York at the top. And now they get it over to Hayhurst. Down low looking for Orval. Moyle in front of the net. Now back over on the right wing side to Slaker. Back down low. Now back to Slaker. He takes a shot wide of the net. It looked like a deflection off of Michigan State's stick. Can York hold it in? He cannot, and it goes all the way back down. 2:35 to go in the game. 1:15 to go in the power play. York picks it up, skates around with it. 4-3 MSU on top. Can Michigan get the equalizer? York skates into the offensive end, hands it over to Becker. Becker turns on the brakes, leaves it behind. Now back up to the top, and Slaker couldn't hold it in. Across to Lambert. And Lambert skates all the way back down and is content to just set things up from the backside, leaving it off to Blankenberg, over to Lambert. 50 seconds remaining. Lambert had it sort of skip over his stick and now dumps it down for Ciccolini. Michigan's got to try and corral it cleanly. And instead, MSU gets to it and sends it back down. 35 seconds remaining in the power play. Under 2 minutes to go in the game. 4-3 Michigan State on top. Michigan might have one more rush with the man advantage before really having to pull the goalie, and now they do pull him indeed. Beecher to the middle. Becker took a shot, and it went over top of the net. I'm not sure if MSU got a stick on that one. I think they did, or at the very least, it touched somebody, I think. Yeah, the faceoff will come to the right of Lethaman. 98 seconds to go in the game. Net now empty for Michigan. 19 seconds to go in the man advantage. Then it will become a standard at 6-on-5. And Michigan's got to be cognizant of that, because when Rosberg gets out of the box, he'll be behind the play, and with an empty net, if they can find him up there, the game will basically be over. Beecher to do the draw. with APAP, and Beecher wins it back. Lambert across to York. He drives one high and over top. Now Ciccolini there, over to Lambert. 10 seconds remaining in the power play. Lambert skates down with it. Over to York right there in the middle with the Big Ten logo. Across to Ciccolini, 6-on-4. Ciccolini skates in, takes a shot that goes wide of the net. Lambert picks it up, 3 seconds, 2-1. Michigan State back to full strength. 6-on-5, now a shot deflected through traffic. York couldn't hold it in at the top. Now Lambert leaves it behind. York across to Garrett Van Wy. 6-on-5, Michigan. 4-3, MSU on top. 1 minute remaining in the game. Beecher pushes it along the side. Now out to Lambert at the top. Lambert holding with it, skating all the way back down across to Becker. Now Becker skates through, holds on that one up to York. Sends it down, 50 seconds remaining. Van Wy in after it. Now over to Emil Orval, tipped around and pushed through. Becker just trying to dig it free, and MSU very content to just have this one pinned against the boards. Becker dug it free for a second. Now over to Orval, across to Slaker. He takes a shot, big rebound, retry by Orval, and that one did not go. 23 seconds remaining, and that one sent all the way back down. Will be an icing on Michigan State. 16.5 to go in the game.
And they'll have another huge offensive zone faceoff here, the last chance to tie it, but they might have just missed their best opportunity there. As I'm not sure, it might have been Slaker who fired that puck to the net from the point there, and a couple rebounds bounced around.
And Michigan State calls their timeout. Mel Pearson will try and draw something up on the whiteboard with 1 minute timeout before the final 16 and a half. One last rush opportunity for MSU, or for Michigan, to try and quell the MSU lead.
And I think one of the other things that MSU has in their favor here is you've got to bet that they're going to have Kodorenko taking the defensive zone draw for them here, and he has been as good as it gets from the faceoff circle tonight.
And the Yost Ice Arena Jumbotrons telling everybody to get loud. 20 seconds to go in the timeout, and then both teams will have to break and get back out there, and the faceoff will be to the side of Letherman. Letherman's been so good for MSU this season, and he is so close to another victory. 3-2 record on the year. Drew DeRitter, who was so strong a year ago, 0-3 on the season, and Letherman has really become the guy here in the last few games. They'll have Beecher out there for Michigan. Beecher, Van Wy, Morgan, Moyle, Hayhurst, and York. Just one defender and 5 forwards. 6-on-5 with the empty net. And Beecher able to win that draw back to York. 15 seconds remaining. He's going to curl around the side, going to try and throw it to the middle. That one tipped into the corner. Michigan State trying to dig it free. Back to Morgan at the top. That one blocked. 5 seconds remaining. Michigan State out to center ice, and they missed the empty net. But it doesn't matter. The horn sounds, and Michigan State is able to pull off the victory here tonight. Final score, Michigan State 4, Michigan 3. Shots 41-34 in favor of the Wolverines. A very hectic game from two pretty defensive teams. And in the end, despite more shots, it was the high percentage looks and the bad giveaways by Michigan, surrendering 2 third-period goals and 3 unanswered to drop this one 4-3.
Yep, and I've got a feeling that this one is going to sting a little bit for the Wolverines as they look to be on the verge of getting their first Big Ten win of the year over their in-state rivals, Michigan State. And 3 unanswered goals is never a way to win a hockey game. And the third period, there's not much good to say about the hockey that they played. Looked to be in control of the game after the first 2. And then, like you said, the giveaways, they just lost a lot of their energy, it looked like. Couldn't get anything going on offense. And it results in a 4-3 loss for the Wolverines.
Well, these two teams will be back at it on Saturday night in East Lansing at Munn between Michigan and Michigan State. That one a 7 p.m. game, and that's where Michigan will have to go to try and find their first Big Ten win still. Once again, our final score from Yost: Michigan State 4, Michigan 3. For Andy Laidlaw, Ryan Krause, Jack Manka, I'm Alex Drain saying good night and go blue.